Yes, guys. Welcome back to Arma 3 Dynamic Campaign. Right, so for if you haven't seen previous episodes, um, it's a continuation, right? Also a continuous campaign, and I'm basically using the dynamic campaign or the dynamic mission generator. It's not a mod, right? So the mission generator will dynamically control all the AI enemy, right, including the tanks and all that sort of stuff, right? So they will just control the whole battle space. Um, Obviously, I'll control my guys, um, and the aim really is to provide a more realistic simulation of the battlefield in the real world, right, or of the battlefield in the real world, right? Um, so you'll see. I'll do in-depth mission planning, mission prep, mission execution. Um, I'm not sure if you guys want to see like um, how we do stuff like the briefing, mission briefing, and stuff like that. I could do it, but let me know if you guys want to see that. So I've got 10 years of serving the British forces as a paratrooper, right? And to me, started off as a rifleman, then worked my way up. So we had comms, machine gunner, sniper, and I was also a battlefield commander as well. I worked alongside like JTACs and mortars, like mortar teams and air crew and stuff like that. So I do understand how those guys actually operate. But I was never deployed in that role per se, but work alongside those guys, yes. So throughout the gameplay, I'll re-roll into these different roles, right, based on the mission slash the task. Hopefully that will give you guys a bit of an idea as what goes on in the real world or how these roles integrate in the real world. So my current campaign setup is enemy air. I've got no enemy air. I've got enemy tank, yes. Difficulty across the board is elite, right, which is the highest one you can get. Civilians is also present in the area as well, and you can use the civvy to gather intel, right, because the enemy zones are hidden. Okay, so I've got no knowledge of the enemy zones. Okay, so you have to do like intel gathering to reveal the enemy zones, right? I'm working standard DLC, so no real mods really. And I've got no, like I said, no armor enhancements. What you see is basically what you get. Yeah, and I'm just using the standard DLCs you can get from Steam, from the Steam store, right? That is it. Obviously, guys, I'm not going to give away real-world tactics and procedures, and most of the tactics that you guys will see, most of these stuff would have changed, anyway. So it's just to give you an idea as to what goes on the battlefield, right? All the planning, give you a more realistic feel of it, and not the Hollywood type of gameplay, which is run, shoot, run, shoot, run, shoot. It's really not like that. It's actually so slow. It's actually boring, right? It's that slow. It's boring. Put it that way. So yeah, guys. So what I'm going to do on this episode really is I'm just going to go through planning, right? So I'll just give you a quick rundown of the previous episode. We went out on a clearance patrol just to clear the area, just to see what we actually got. It's just standard mobile patrol, just driving through, checking a few villages or built up areas, speaking to a few locals, see if you can gather an intel. We spoke to one guy who had absolutely gave us a runaround, but then had no information to give us. Right. However, en route to the next location or the next built-up area, we come under contact. Right, more south. Okay, to the south we come under enemy contact, and that vehicle got hit. Okay, just standard minor damages really, but it was enough to hinder the patrol should we need to like request withdrawal, right? We need to get out of the killing zone. We would actually struggle. So we actually did put the repair vehicle on standby with an additional. So the QRF team is a 3 vehicle crew. No, it's a 3 vehicle team, right? However, my vehicle, that vehicle, we also then rob a vehicle from the QRF team, right? Which bring them down to 2. So we took 1, right? Which leave them with 2, only 2 vehicles. So not the full firepower. So we could not really engage into any firefight because we're just not up to full scale to actually defend. Well, we can defend and withdraw, right, but not to attack. So what we basically done was drive through, right, break contact, drive through, and assess the situation. It wasn't safe to get the repair vehicle to actually drive through to come meet us, right? Yes, the other two QRF vehicles could have, their tanks, they could have actually escorted the repair vehicles to drive through, but it was a little bit too risky. So instead, what we decided to do is basically RTB, return back to base, right, and then look to plan a more like a strike up down into that area, right? Again, we're moving into that area blind. The only thing we've got is a bit of aerial reconnaissance, so we have no idea of enemy strength, the actual location of the enemy HQ and stuff like that. We have no idea. So, like I say, guys, there are tanks in this campaign as well, right? So we have no idea enemy strength, the enemy zone, no idea, right? So what we're going to do now is basically plan an operation moving into that area, clear and capture, right? That is the objective, or that will be the objective, right? Is to move in, clear, and capture that enemy zone, right? There are 4 enemy zones altogether, and this will be the first one. If it's an enemy zone, not sure, right? So enough of that. Let's get planning. Right. Okay, so stop there.
25, halt.
Roger that.
Right, holding, and let's just check. So it's down this area. We got contacted along this route, coming in from. Yes, we had engagement coming in from our right, from the south. So we're driving along this route, and we had contact. So what we did basically just make our way back around and go across country, and then move back in RTB. Right. So QRF 1, 2, 3, and that was a repair vehicle. Okay, so let's plan this. Okay, so form up points. Let's get these guys form up down this side. So 11, right, 14 and 17 on the number. Okay, 17. Right, so you can push down.
11, 12, move half a click, south.
14,
15, move 400 meters, south.
right, let's have a look. Right, so we need a drop-off point.
Standing by.
Enemy zone down that side. Okay, can we move into this high ground for a bit of overwatch? I know it's across the water, but should be fine. Okay, we need QRF to have a quick route in. Okay, so if we have QRF holding, out of sight. If we get dropped off down, okay, so if we get dropped off in this area, okay, cool. So let's have a drop-off point down here, right, in this built-up area. Okay, so drop-off will be 21, 24, and we'll have a repair vehicle holding at the rear. Okay, repair vehicle's 20. Right, let's repair. Okay, so that'll be drop off for team green drop off. Okay, so team green drop off. Right, team red back this side. Drop off as well. And team blue is also, which team blue basic medics. Right, they are also in that vehicle as well. Right, drop off. From that point, we look to push down. Okay, utilizing these buildings as cover. Okay, we use the high ground, get some aerial recce. Right, so team red will move on to this high ground.
Move to grid 0, 9, and 3. 1, 1, 5. 20, 4. Stop. Stop.
Understood.
Right, cool. Okay, so move on to this high ground. Enemy zone is somewhere in this side, so we need to move up. So move back, move up that way. Let's see if we can find a gap. Right, so we need to move up. Team red will move up that way. Okay, so recce. Right, so recce up this side, and we're looking at east, southeast, right? So east, southeast. Okay, so recce, east, southeast. Right. Withdraw will be, so if we get into this position, we will draw down this side, right? So that'll be set compass to northwest, hit that track. Okay, so that will be withdraw. Okay, cool. Right, so withdraw that way. Just put this in, so withdraw. If you get contacted, right, so that's northwest on the compass, hit that track. Right, then we regroup with the guys, but we need to get off that high ground. Okay, cool. Right, sweet. Drop off. Okay, now we need to move we can provide overwatch for team green. Okay, so we get team green to move down this side. So team green 1. Um, mm, 2, 3. Okay, I'm just trying to find points for these guys to move. Right, that's a massive bound. That is. Yeah, that's a massive bound there. Range. That is straight up Overwatch. Right. It's definitely cannot engage from that distance too far. A little bit over a K. Yeah, that'll be over a K. So to that end, you guys gonna need QRF just moving up. Right, to actually get these guys to come in at an angle, we need QRF to move this way and move in that way, right? Okay. So QRF need to move. Okay, so initially QRF will hold there. So 11, 14, and 17. Right, and QRF will make your way to this point. Turn that point. Make your way down to this point. Okay, that's QRF. See what we got here. It's a bit flat. Right. Okay, what's gonna happen is delete that one. Guy's gonna hold right there, and then we're gonna get picked up. 21. Okay. So this will be a pickup point. Pickup point. Right. We'll regroup. 24. Regroup. Right. Okay. Cool. Got it. Okay, so let's have a final run through what we got. So what's gonna happen, guys? We're gonna these guys gonna hang on, let's get 17 to move into position. Right. Move into position there.
17, 18, move 400 meters, southeast.
Okay, and then we're gonna have 21 will be there, 24 will be there, 20 will be holding there. Right, that's repair vehicle. Let's put R. Right, so what's gonna happen is QRF's gonna move into this position.
Waiting.
Right, hold. Right, we're gonna move down to this position here, 21, 24, 20. Repair vehicle, truck, right. Then The medic actually will stay on. Okay. Team red will jump out. Move on to this high ground. Get a recce on this high ground. We might actually get 21 to actually. We might get these guys to stay in team green. Right, but anyway, get on the high ground. Right. Bearing east southeast. Down this side. Get eyes on enemy zone. Right, and should we get contacted by enemy on this high ground, right, we set northwest on the compass, right, and withdraw downhill, hit that road, then turn right. Once we hit this track, we turn right. Right, and we should regroup with the guys round the corner. Okay, now try to get eyes on. If we get eyes on, what we'll do is we'll assess the situation. Right, we might be able to get team green to move bound these buildings. Right, okay, now just to give a bit of protection, because we can provide overwatch but not actually engage. Right, it'd be far out of range for our weapon systems. So what will happen is QRF will then make the way up to this point, down this point, and to this point there. Okay, and the reason why is so that we can maintain good angle of fire. So we need to push a bit wider to try and engage. Right, if we come in on this angle, right, it's a bit too tight. Just in case we need these guys to move in, to just move down on the road. Right, so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to come in at an angle, right, so we can still maintain engagement all the way through. Okay, once those guys reach this location here, right, so let's put that in. So that'll be 14, that'll be 17. Right, once these guys arrive at this location, they'll hold position and we'll look to push through. Right, so 21, 24, we'll look to push through, push down this area. Again, we have no idea exactly where the enemy zone is, but we do know we're getting enemy contact from down the side based on the recent contact and the UAV aerial reconnaissance. Right, so that is as much information as we got at the minute. Right, so QRF guys over here this side. Okay, so what we're trying to do, really, we're trying to make our way down if possible. Right, we'll try to get down to this point here. Right, and maybe do a vehicle drop, do a drop off, and look to move in on foot. But at the minute, we have no idea exactly what enemy zone is. Right, so that recce is really important. So there you go, guys. That is it. So what I'll do is, okay, get these guys to actually move into the holding point. Right, so 4 more points is there. Okay, 4 more points. FEP for those guys, and FEP for these guys at the back as well. Right, 1, 2, 3. These guys are QRF.
20. Move 300 meters. Right.
Understood.
21, move down.
1. 20. 2. Move 300 meters. Right.
Right, what we need to do is test our fire support.
Standing by.
Right, can we actually request fire mission down on that location? Okay, so what we're going to do, right, we're going to try and request smoke Right, let's try request smoke on that location down there. Right. Okay, and right, let's request smoke. Overwatch the air, overshot the area. Right, let's try and find a bit of an empty ground. Okay, let's drop it there. Just use smoke. Okay, 31. Okay, and just give me smoke. 33 as well. Right, 1 round.
Requesting support. 31, 33, 32, 34. Grid 107, 108.
Okay. Okay. To check fire. Right. So they should know we're coming. The other thing we can add is should require air. It's really risky. Right. Requesting air will be straightforward, literally straight in. Yeah, just be straight in. So air will be push over this side. So waypoint. And move in waypoint. Right. Cool guys, that is it. I'm officially out. Right, so the waypoints are for the attack heli. See you guys, that is it. I'm officially out of here now. Save.